everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make an AFK fish farm. This is the same fish farm that I built in episode 5 of my Let's Play series. It's very basic, very easy to build. This is a more deluxe version. Let's take a look at it. So we just walk up to here. You can see there's a sticky piston right back there. We just aim at that and hold down our right click button, and it's going to trip that tripwire hook, which brings down a trapdoor where the sticky piston used to be. We're going to flip that back and forth until we catch a fish, and since there is a trapdoor right in front of us, that fish isn't going to go into our inventory. Instead, it's going to get stuck on that trapdoor and go into the hopper right behind it. And we're going to catch a fish real quick, and then we'll go on and view the rest of this fish farm. There we go. So there's a hopper right down there that catches the fish. On this version, all the fish come down into these chests here, and I'm going to show you a simplified version. I'm going to show you 3 different versions, in fact, that you can build, starting with the simplified version. So we're going to take a look at what's happening here. You can see we got the tripwire hook going into a redstone torch. The redstone torch is powering a piston down there, so it's powering it on all the time, which has that trapdoor up until it's triggered, and then it brings it down into the path of the fishing line. Now it also goes into this, which is a burnout torch. Basically what happens is this torch is powering this block, which goes into the redstone that goes back into the redstone torch, and so it confuses the redstone torch, so it goes on and off and on and off and on and off until it finally burns itself out, and then it'll reset and be ready for another burnout. I'll demonstrate that real quick, just like this. You can see it's burning out right there. It goes on and off and on and off, and then it burns itself out. Now what that's doing is sending a longer signal into this instead of just a quick pulse. It sends a longer timed signal into this, and this is a pulse generator. On this we have, let me get a button real quick. We have a comparator in subtract mode going into itself, so whenever we send a signal into this, it's going to go in a circular formation 6 times and pulse 6 times, and send out 6 signals over into these hoppers, or I'm sorry, they're just droppers, which are collecting the hopper drops. And these droppers spit it up into these hoppers and back down into the chests. So like I said, this is a more deluxe version. I'm going to show you 3 different versions, starting with a super simple one like this, and then we'll work our way through. Alright, have to clear the weather again. So we're going to start off building this simple system, so if that's all you want to build, you can just watch that part of the video. We're going to continue on building after that and build this system off of that system that we build, and then you can quit watching the video after that if that's what you want. If not, we're going to continue building and build this system afterwards, so you can watch until the end if that's the system that you want. So it just depends on what you want, where you're going to want to stop watching the video. So we're going to start by placing down a chest, and it can be a trap chest or a regular chest, it doesn't matter. We're going to face a hopper into that chest. Now this can be a double chest if you're just using this little system here. If not, it can be a double chest, whatever. I mean a single chest. So we're going to put a trapdoor on top of this. You can put a slab there. I prefer trapdoor. It's just easier to see over than a slab. Now on either side of this hopper, we're going to go out 2 blocks just like this. And then on the second blocks, we're going to go up 2 just like that. Now you should have a U shape. Now we're going to add another block in between here. This is just for looks. It doesn't matter what block you put in there. You can use lights, you can use trapdoors, you can use whatever block you want to. We just have to have some kind of block there to hold the water source in, which is going to be sitting on top of this hopper. Now these guys right here are going to hold our tripwire hooks just like that. And let me make sure I have a string. I do. So we're going to go ahead and hook those up with the string. Now we've got 1 space in between our tripwire hook and our hopper, just like that. Going to go around to the other side, get our torch, and on the block that's holding the tripwire hook, we're going to place a redstone torch. Right below that on the bottom, we're going to put down a block and add redstone dust and redstone dust, just like that. Now behind the hopper, we're going to place down our sticky piston, and as soon as we put it down, it should be getting power and it should pop us up just like this. Good. Now this is default. This is how the system is always going to be. Unless you're fishing, then it's going to trip the tripwire hook, which is going to drop that piston down. That's the way we want it to be. Now on top of this sticky piston, let me get back up here, we're going to put one block and then another block, and we're going to get rid of this guy. The reason we're doing that is we want to put a trapdoor on the bottom of this block facing towards the farm. So it opens just like that. Make sure that it opens like that, or else it's going to be a lot harder to cast the line into it. So we're going to do that just like that. This block doesn't need to be here. You can leave it there if you want to. It doesn't need to be there. Now we put our water block, come on, our water source right on top of the hopper, and that is our entire system done. That is the complete system. Very simple. So if we trip this, you should see that go down just like that. If we get out our fish hook, or our fishing rod, and we cast, and we want to aim right at the top, right above the water on that hopper, the sticky piston, anywhere along the top of the water, just like that. And you can see, as soon as we cast, it trips that tripwire hook, which, or the tripwire, which pulls down that trapdoor, and that trapdoor goes right into the same spot that we were aiming on the sticky piston. So we just keep popping that bad boy back and forth until we catch a fish. Once we catch a fish, it's going to pull it in, and since this trapdoor is in front of us, it's going to catch the fish on the trapdoor and make it go down into the hopper right below the water source. And then we're going to recast because we're still holding down the button or the trigger, depending on what version of Minecraft you're playing on. So you saw the system work, and we got our first fish. So that is the entire fish farm done just like that. So if that's all you wanted, you can end the video right here. Alright, so if you want to continue on and build this guy right here with the extra storage space, that's what we're going to build now. For that one, we're going to need a comparator and slabs and a repeater, and that should be everything. Now first thing we're going to do, I know we just placed the water, but we're going to get rid of the water because we're going to have to change the way that this hopper faces now, because we're doing droppers instead of the chest. So let's go ahead and get those droppers going. Now, not this block, but the next block over. So you don't want to do it there, but you want to go one back. We're going to have three facing up, three droppers facing up, and one facing over, just like that. The reason we don't want to have it right up against this is because every time this tripwire hook is powered, it's sending power into this dropper, so it locks the dropper. It spits once and then that's it, but we want it to pulse and keep going, so we can't have it right up against that. Now we're going to connect these droppers up to where our water source is going to be with some hoppers. So we're going to go one hopper into the dropper, and then just do a chain, make sure they're all facing each other just like that. So you can see they're all pointing into each other all the way over into the dropper here. We can go ahead and add our water source back now because we're done messing with it. And we can add a block here, and that's going to be where we're standing. Now that is all done. Now we're going to go over here where our redstone torch is. We're going to go out one block just like that. Put down a repeater. Against this repeater, we want to put a block on the other side of the block, a redstone torch. So we got torch, redstone dust going into a repeater, going into a block, going into a torch. On top of that torch, we're going to put a block, and on top of that block and the block below, redstone dust, just like that. So what we've got here is our burnout clock. So every time it gets depowered, you can see our burnout clock goes on, just like that. So now from our burnout clock, we're going to do our pulse generator. So we don't want to do the block right below, but one block over from the torch. We're going to go out 3, and on the other side we want 2, just like that. And we're going to put redstone dust facing the torch, just like this. So when this torch lights up, it's going to give power to this redstone dust right here. From there, we want to do a repeater in subtraction mode, and redstone dust, redstone dust, redstone dust, just like that. This is our pulse generator, so if we put a button on this, we can show you again how it works. So every time that torch gets power, it's going to do that to that guy and send pulses. So that goes into these guys, and to do that we're going to need slabs. The reason we're using slabs is we're going to have to draw power from there and go up. So we're going to do this one like that. We want to get the top of the block right, just like that, 2 slabs out, and this one, 2 slabs, just like that. Now we're going to put a block right up against this dust so that it does that little funky look right there. We're going to go dust on top of that, dust down there, dust down there, dust here, and dust here. Now that is everything wired up. And again, I'll show you why we don't want a full block here on these guys. If we did that, look what happens to the redstone line. It goes away. So with the slab, we can have redstone dust going down and up at the same time, just like that. If we had a slab here, again, I'll show you if that was a full block, boom, that line goes nowhere. And even though this should still work, we're just going to make sure that it does just by adding that slab instead of a full block. Now that is the entire system done. So if we add some blocks in here, we're just going to test it and make sure that whenever this is tripped, those guys should be spitting out. Good. Now we're going to add our chests. So we're going to go right here, boom, boom. We're going to go 1 block over and 1 block out from our block that we stand at. Add 1 set of double chests and another. And we're going to go ahead and stack up 4 double chests. Just like that. Now we got to connect these to the droppers using hoppers. And to do that, we're going to start a chain at the bottom. Just like this. We're going to make sure we're facing into the chest. Boom, 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 just like that. And then boom, boom. Now that is the entire system. Let's make sure we still have some blocks in there. We do. And if we've got it all wired up right, it should go. Oops, not right. Oh my goodness, I broke the whole system now. Let's start over. And string it in. Make sure, I don't want water in my hand while I do this. Make sure that we're getting stuff in there. Let's trip it again. Yep, we're getting blocks in there. Trip it again. More blocks. Trip it again. More blocks. It seems like it's only spitting out 3 per try. Yeah, it is. And there we go. That is that system done. So if that's the kind of system you want, you can stop the video now. If not, we're going to continue on and build version 3 after I clear this weather. Alright, version 3. I've recorded this 4 times now. Files keep disappearing. So, let's try this one more time. So on version 3, instead of the hoppers going around into droppers and into chests, we have 4 facing straight up. Boop. So we instead of facing this way, this one's going to go straight up. And we also have to change position of our chest. Instead of them being here, we got to go 1 out, 1 more out. So they're going to be here. So we're going to go 2 away from the hopper set and start our first row of chests. So let me go ahead and do that. So we want 4 double chests stacked on top of each other. We're going to do the same thing over here, and we want to go 2 blocks out from this. So 1, 2, start our set just like that, and we're going to put hoppers into each one like that, and like, whoop, like that, not there. Now we're gonna need ice, and we need to go one more up, so we have 5 droppers, not 4, and one more hopper on each one. Now we connect ice from dropper to hopper, and from hopper to hopper, and then back around to the other hoppers. Now we're going to fill in blocks on the inside to keep water from flowing down. So we're going to have water sources up here. So we're going to do a circle right here. Make sure that our water source down below is still open to the sky. Now we can use half slabs here, but we can't put them on the top like this. We got to do it on the bottom, otherwise the items will slide up underneath them. But full blocks will be better. So let's go ahead and use that. And we're going to go on the outside. And this is just to contain our water streams that are going to be pushing items around up here. Do that all the way around. And when we get here, we can use an upside down stair to make sure that we can still open our chests, and we'll do that in a second. Okay, so now that we're down, let's get, let me see what kind of stair. We'll use quartz just so it'll match our concrete that we're using. Get out of that, thank you. And I want to do it this way, so we're going to get rid of that block, and nope, up top, nope, up top, just like that. Wrong side. Shelly. Just like that. Okay, so now we can still access our chest. You know what? I'm stupid because it's actually a block higher, so we don't need to worry about that. We can still access our chests. Huh. Why is this one so much higher? I don't know why I did it so high, but that's fine. So we're going to need water, and we're going to need slabs now. Let me get water. We're going to need 2 water sources, and we're going to need 2 slabs. So we're going to go right in the middle of the front of our system. You can see this is the front. So right where up, there you go. Right in the middle, we're going to put a slab on the top and another slab straight across on the top. So it looks like this. And we're going to put 1 water source here flowing towards the back of the system, 1 water source here flowing towards the front of the system. So what that's going to do is whenever this dropper starts spitting items out, it's going to spit it into this water stream and go into this hopper just like I explained over there. Go into this hopper. If hoppers are full, it's going to go under here and go into that one. And if everything's full, it's just going to keep going in circles. So that is the entire system done, and that's all 3 of them. So pick one that works best for you and go in, and once you're finished building it, you can go in and decorate it however you want. I'm not going to do that. That's for you to do. So yeah, that's all the fish farms done. I hope one of them works for you. I'll see you guys in the next episode.